Good morning to Thursday, May the 4th call. I think it's Star Trek Day or something, or Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. I think that's it, yes. And then tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo. Oh, look at Star Wars and then tequila. I mean, what a great week we could have. uh, um, I was reminded in my meditation this morning, feeling, I'll use the word off. So there's just can't explain it, but internally, right, my internal dialogue feels a bit chaotic today. It feels a bit off. And as I was in meditation, uh, I was of a ritual, I guess, that I follow whenever I wake up. I no longer assume that there's something wrong, right? I just, oh, something is off. And I don't even describe it as something is bad. I'm careful with my words as we've been talking about this last little bit, but I'm so aware of my environment and the energies around that I can feel not only when I'm off, but if, the globe is like globally what's happening. And not even talking about like major global events like repression, suppression, wars. Oh, I'm not even speaking from like to that, but just if everyone's emitting a frequency and I my antenna is out, I will feel the frequencies of what are going on, not just in my household, but in the people that I'm connected to, into the world, to the planets, to the moon. So whenever I feel quote unquote off, the first question that I ask is this mine? And then I can follow the path of if it's mine or not. And more often than not, I don't need to know who it belongs to. Or I dip out. So what I do is, okay, it's not mine. So I lovingly send it back to where it came from. Right. And that's a very simple ritual that I have. But more importantly, I think the message that I'm being guided to share with you is to not be in judgment of yourself if things feel off or you have a quote unquote bad day or things don't go your way. And to be okay with, even if we're spiritually developed, mature in our spiritual development, every day won't feel necessarily, and so I'm careful with my words, like bliss. We can change our state of mind if bliss is important to us, but the feelings of off, if they belong to us, are just opportunities, if we so choose, to explore. And you may decide that you don't want to explore. You don't have to explore the feeling of off. You can just be in, oh, well, that's interesting. I'm feeling off. What's important, and here's where harmony comes in, or you can use the word balance, is if you've made commitments for the day and you're feeling off, how will you harmonize those two? Right? When I feel off, I have to talk myself into making the commitments that I said, right? I feel like, and it's kind of like a conversation, right? I just want to, go back and to bed and do oracle cards. So that's what we talked about yesterday about the avoidance piece, right? Or journal or rest. And especially around times like this, right? We have the new moon today. We're in a lunar eclipse in Europe. I think it's tomorrow. We're in Mercury retrograde. And as a being who's very aware of how the planets affect me, I'd like to, just Netflix and chill. And that's not possible. So I can resist that, it's not possible, right? At this moment in time, I could cancel my day. right? I could like, I'm not doing life today. I'm going to like Netflix and chill. And so here's where the harmony comes in. Uh, or I can go, yeah, that totally sucks that you want to go to bed and just hang out and Netflix and chill and watch, Cold Case series from 2001, because that's what I'm binging on, right? And you have a full day. This is where the harmony comes in. Balance will be some words. People will use balance. For my word is harmony. The harmony comes in knowing that I can still honor myself. I can honor my feelings of I would, like to crawl into bed. And I'll use the word responsibilities. I have commitments. And so what I've noticed in the behavior, even of my children, right, when they're like stressed out, they have tended to phone their bosses and say, I just, I need a mental health day. And I remember saying to my kids at different times, you want to honor how you feel, absolutely. And I want you to consider how your boss feels. And you don't make a decision to please your boss, but just be in awareness that your decision to like have a mental health day and also has this ripple effect. Does that mean you make a different decision? No, but you make a decision open-heartedly, authentically, in full awareness that your decision has a consequence, has an effect. Your thoughts have a cause or are the cause of an effect. So the first place that I start is it possible for me to change my state? Am I meant to change my state? Would that be honoring where I'm at? Am I meant to feel off and still do my work? Right? So it's only complicated because what we're being asked to do as we step into this journey is just to be radically honest with ourselves and ask different questions, right? And some of you can ask open-ended questions. Some of you are going to have to ask very specific yes or no or uh-huh questions. But it's so important to just take the time to ask the questions, right? Am I meant to journal right now, right? Or am I meant to go in the hot tub, right? Am I meant to take a mental health day? Like it's, go in the corner, go into a different room, right? Or am I not? And so for me, when I have I have a little bit of brain fog today. So I have a little bit of brain fog. I'm feeling off. I'm feeling jittery. So I name the feelings because I've been asked to name the feelings today. I don't often go into naming the feelings. I don't stay in the feelings, but I'm like, oh, well, isn't that interesting? So it's with a sense of curiosity. Well, that's really interesting that I'm jittery. What parts of my body are jittery? Where am I feeling jittery? And again, it's just for exploration because you learn so much about yourself. And when you ask those questions, right? And so really what ends up happening then, right, is you can look at all of these pieces and decide, is it just information or am I meant to contemplate, explore, dissect? And if you're following your intuition, following your body, if it's right, your body, your intuition, your divine self, use whatever word that resonates with you, will lead you down the path of where you're to go. The propaganda that we're being fed, I'm just following the words. I was going to change the words and I was asked to not change the words. The propaganda that we're being fed, even around taking care of ourselves from a mental wellness perspective, it's Propaganda, right? It's someone else. Oh, this is a big one. Apologies for my really big burping. That's about to happen. The propaganda that we're being fed globally, we're not meant to follow it without questioning it. I'm just going to take a moment. I'm okay, everyone. I'm going to cry. Just so, tears are coming. I'm fine, right? It's just a release of energy for those of you who've not seen this part of my teachings before. We're not meant to blindly follow anyone's propaganda. As a spiritual being living on this planet, with the intellect that we have and the emotional intelligence that we have and the connection to your divine source. Thanks, Chantel. We're meant to contemplate. We're meant to question. And the challenge with this is that everyone's been conditioned to listen to authority. Don't question your grandparents. They deserve respect. Don't question your parents because they're your parents, that they know what's best. Don't question the church. Don't question the government. Don't question the healthcare. Don't question your doctors. Don't question your lawyers. Don't question, I don't know, your coach that you hired. Don't question, just follow blindly along. And we are moving towards an awakening like no other. And part of that awakening is all of you asking questions, right? And so I'll use my kids as an example, the propaganda of, and I agree, we need to take care of our mental, thanks, Diane, our mental health. We are meant to. And does that mean because we have a bad day, we are going to stay home and Netflix and chill? And that's what's being taught to my children. Have a bad day, it's okay to stay home. And it is. So that's the coolest thing. It is okay to stay home. It is okay to check in and like, I don't think I can do life today. Right? Adulting is hard. Right? Mackenzie said that to me about 3 months ago. Adulting is hard. Yes. Yes, it is. It's true. Adulting is, yeah, there's certainly some challenges, right? And you know, but if we just listen to what they say, air quoting for those of you who are just listening to this afterwards, we're kind of like the Pied Piper, right? Have you ever heard that fairy tale, right? With Pied Piper and all the mice like left the village, I think. I'm going to go read that because there's a message there for us. Are we just blindly following the Pied Piper? And we've been taught it's not safe. As a woman, certainly know your place. Like that's ingrained in us. Know your place, right? Don't talk back. Don't make a stink. Follow, right? Follow the rules. Make sure you fit in, right? All of those, that's the conditioning, the propaganda. So what you're being called to do is, you can say, question everything, contemplate everything, percolate on things. It's Tracy's word she gave me. I'm like, I love that word, right? I'm not an overthinker. I'm a great percolator. But you're here and you're listening and you're meant to be questioning. You're meant to contemplate even the things that allow us the opportunity to Netflix and chill, right? And there's nothing wrong with taking a day off. There's nothing wrong with taking a mental day off. What's interesting to me, though, is we're being programmed or conditioned that you have to have a reason to take the day off. why don't you just take a day off? Because you feel like it. Because it's, I don't know, no excuse, no reason. Just because I'm choosing to not work today because, right? And leave that blank and see how uncomfortable you are. I don't know about you, but I'm like, ooh, that would be tough. I'd have to have a reason to cancel my appointments. Right? I think this is coming up for me, but part of my gift is realizing, of course, that I wasn't going to be able to do the calls this weekend. And I went into like, well, I just can't go to the cabin. And Rob said, what? And I said, well, I suppose I could drive to the next town, which is like, it's 45 minutes. It's really not that far. And he's like, Ranchelle, it'll be okay. Right. But I tossed it back and forth. So the message is also for me. It's okay. Right. It's okay. And I didn't need the reason, right? But we do. We feel like we need to justify our actions to ourselves, but I think even more to others. Anybody relate to that? Right? That's a huge one. What if we just decided we wanted something because we wanted something? Oh my goodness, right? What if you decided you wanted to be a multimillionaire because you just thought that would be fun? Right? Do you need a reason? I mean, I've talked about the universe needs a reason, right? Because we intellectually we have to, it's the intellect. And maybe I'm getting the message that maybe that was misguided or misinformation or a misunderstanding on my part. So let me clarify that as I get corrected. We need the reason. The human species needs the reason. So when we have a reason for what we want, we feel like we're being reasonable. Sorry. What if you just wanted it because you wanted it? Ooh, anybody have a struggle with that one? What if you just wanted to be a millionaire just because you wanted to be a millionaire or a billionaire or a gazillionaire or a trillionaire or have a hot body or have like a love life that's just as like, wow. What if we didn't have to have a reason? It's going to sit with that for a moment with all of you as we all shift that energy together. Thank you. So the reasons, the reasoning, the justification is the humanness of you. Now, I'm going to go a little bit out there for some people. I'm not sure where everyone's at with this. But what if you weren't a human being, but you occupied a human body, right? So for those of you, that might be new information, right? There's different life forces. I'm trying to find the right words. Life forces that occupy. So you might be familiar with words like the Pleiadians, people of Atlantis, nebulas can occupy bodies. So there's many, many different words around that. So that might be a little bit out there for you. And if that is, if you've not heard that, and just let that piece go. But I know that some of you on here, right, are not of the human beingness, but you're occupying a body. Oh, let's move that one. So what does that mean, right? So do you feel like you have to justify more? Pardon me. Can you justify less? Right now, all good, right? Yeah. What about that scenario? Right? Right, Diane? Yeah. What if we didn't need a reason? We, the human being, needs a reason. Can we just love up? Can we love up the human beingness of ourselves? Can we offer our human being this sacred love? Right? Like the capital L, capital O, capital V, capital E love, like Christ consciousness energy love. And what if we could just have what we wanted? We would definitely need, I say we, I am part of this this one. Definitely need to decondition the only ask for what you need at a deeper level. Like that's going really, really deep. Ask for what you desire with no justification and no purpose. Right? So for me, one of those things would be, and I will be burping here. For me, right, Karen? Yeah. For me, it would be, I don't need to justify that I desire impact and influence. I don't need to justify that. I've been justifying it. I've known since I was 15 years old that I needed to be on stage and that I wanted to have impact and influence. That's justification. It's a story. Now in marketing, right? Marketing stories help people relate with you. So that's why people say stories sell, right? Facts tell, stories sell. That's in the world of marketing and sales. Facts tell, stories sell. So that's conditioning. So we can be in awareness of the conditioning. I am in awareness that I'm conditioned to tell a story, and I honor that. And I'm in awareness that stories sell and facts tell. And I'm in awareness that I want to have impact and influence. And so I will lovingly create a story that has impact and influence with the frequency, and this is what I would say to myself, with the frequency of sacred love. And then share the secretness of it. Secrets aren't, I'm not really comfortable with that word anymore, right? But I'll use that word because I can't think of an English word right now. The secrets of what that actually means. Because we will be required to meet people where they're at. Right? So we will be required to meet people where they're at so that we can do the good that we desire. And so that's part of being an awareness. But you being authentic, you showing up authentically as who you are. Right? And then you can unfold before your audience the truth. Right? Because we need to speak to the conditioning. We need to speak to the conditioned mind. We need to speak to the conditioned mind. And that's what we're being asked to do here. You said yes to my invitation here because the divine in you knew that you were to speak to the conditioned mind. And you said yes. So thank you for saying yes. What if we didn't have to justify why we wanted something? Ooh. Right? Diane, boom, right? What if we have like that? Does that not shift everything for those of you who are in that, like, yeah. So now there's no words. Like I really have no words now other than just feeling the energy, feeling the frequency shift. Wowzers. Right? Yes, that's a yeah. Let's bathe in that one today. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be so cool. What would you do? Who would you be? It's actually, it's not a doing, so thank you. Thank you. Who would you be if you knew, you know, not past tense, you know, that you didn't have to justify You didn't have to explain. And that the only part of you that wants that is the humanness of you. But you didn't have to explain. You could just make a decision. Someone wants a castle. Someone's thinking about a castle, right? Someone's thinking about a field of butterflies. These are the images that are coming to me. A castle, a field of butterflies, travel, right? That'd be so cool. Thank you. Mic drop. Mic drop moment for all of us. Right. Karen, thank you for that, right? You are. I love that. Karen wrote this morning, I was told I'm a cosmic healer. And I would agree, being part of your circle lately. Yes. Yes. It's like when people said to me, you're a healer, I'm like, no. Nope. My 2-year-old girl, la, 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 la. Right? Absolutely. Right. Sherry saying this is a great contemplation. There is a trying to convince ourselves that we are worthy enough, right? But what if we didn't need a reason? Right. We need the reason, but source doesn't. Right? Yeah, be reasonable. Oh, how many times I've heard that word in my life? Be reasonable. No, I'm unreasonable. I choose to be unreasonable, but not in the definition that everyone else thinks that it is, right? I choose to be, right? Why do I want? Yeah. Yeah. And Chantal, thank you for Chantal said Scorpios are getting hit really hard this new moon. Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a big one. I have Karen in my corner. She's been working on me every day. So it's been much, much easier. Thank you. So for those of you who are hit by stuff like that, talk to Karen. She has this really cool thing that she does for all this kind of stuff. So yeah, I won't be without a Karen, with Karen working on me and her protocols around planetary, right? I actually mapped them out, Karen. So I'll take a photo of, we have this going with Pluto's doing retrograde here and someone's doing this. I'm like, there's a lot of shit that goes on in the planets. Shit, not in terms of like not judging, just a word, stuff, movement, shifts during the month that I had no idea. When I started to map it, I was like, well, that would explain. And all of that came through today's session, the reading, because the thought that I had this morning was like, why do we feel like we have to justify having a bad day, feeling off, right? And then the actions behind it, right? The desire then to do what it is to talk ourselves into or talk ourselves out of. And what if we could allow the beingness of it and then make decisions? And that's what came. So, wow. Thank you so much for being present here, everyone. That was totally unexpected and totally sourced because I don't remember a word that I said. So I think I'll be keeping that audio on my computer, listening to on a regular basis. And it will be available in the portal, right? In the YouTube portal today. If you don't have that, just let me know, right? And I will text it to you. I think it was up a couple times here in the chat, but let me know if you don't have it, because yeah, they're there. So yeah. Oh, thanks everyone. Big hugs. Thank you for being fully present and open-hearted here today, because that's where that message was for myself, included, all of us here. So thank you. Big hugs. Right now.